Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's meditation. Hmm. I would like to start with a quote from Nisargadatta Maharaj. Um, there was a time where I was very addicted to experiences, and it is only now that I can truly grasp what he's saying. And he says, "Nobody came to tell me, nor was I told so inwardly. In fact, it was only in the beginning when I was making efforts that I was passing through some strange experiences, seeing lights, hearing voices, meeting gods and goddesses, and conversing with them. Once the Guru told me, 'You are the supreme reality.' I ceased having visions and trances and became very quiet and simple. I found myself desiring and knowing less and less until I could say in utter astonishment, 'I know nothing and I want nothing.'" And this is actually very unbecoming, very uninteresting for the ego. And this process is seamless. You cannot pinpoint it, it's seamless. And the more access you have to your true self, it opens you up to this simplicity. And you become very uninterested in thoughts and concepts and truths. And this simplicity is what is your discernment. Once you become very simple, you start seeing everything exactly as it is. And the way we are enmeshed in this interesting realm that we've chosen to experience, this enmeshment starts disintegrating. And then you find a deeper silence. And in that deeper silence, you feel an immediate knowing of this eternal being. And you start seeing that eternal being in everything and everyone. But for that, you need simplicity. You need quiet, stillness. We're encountering a very pertinent time because if you're aware, the field is playing up very fast. It's playing up these old notions of maybe who you used to be. and it's returned back. Or not just old notions, but maybe call it these very deep notions of belonging, of love, of expectation, of who you're supposed to be in a human community. What have you achieved or you haven't achieved? Your relationships, all of them are becoming clearer and clearer to you. And due to the fact that all of this, I would even call it, yes, in the chaos of all this coming up, there's also a clear seeing, a very kind of pertinent, pressing truth that you yourself are experiencing around these things. And then notice that there is a lot of looping thoughts, looping feelings and emotions and that are coming and almost like draining you because you're being drawn back into these, you may call them timelines, you may call them the experiences of your older selves, and they're here right now because everything is here right now. Even your old self is here right now. And there's just one aspect of free will, by the way, and that aspect is that conscious choice of where you're zooming in, and that is your choice. But for that choice to be made consciously, you need that stillness and you need that simplicity that you identify with first, and then you can see what's covering that simplicity, what appears, in other words, in the field. And my intention for today is to unwind these gnawing feelings, emotions, impressions that are actually almost forcing you into these timelines, forcing you into attachment, identification with these age old but very familiar things. And they're actually here to be released. But these are very, very deep aspects of us, very deep aspects. So that's why they're drawing us so pertinently in. And we're going to release life force energy, release thoughts, the confusion in the field, because there's so much confusion right now in the collective field. So let us do that. You can also intend your own sun cup, the intention for today's meditation. And I'm looking at how these intentions and the purity, once you do have a purity of intention, they come alive almost instantaneously. The purity of intention. So what do you really need in this moment? As you are taking your breath, get in touch with this instant vibrancy of the light. Your breath is that which connects you to Pran, the energy that is moving the universe, the multiverse. Inhale. Just keep your breath for a moment and feel yourself with this light life force energy. And exhale. And there's no muscling, clinging, wanting. You're just noticing everything that is already at your disposal. It seems the most miraculous, the knowing that we are the supreme consciousness. Supreme consciousness. These are just words. Go back to the feeling. Go back to that experience. What is that immediacy? Your experiential immediacy. Call yourself back into the backside of the body. Enliven the spine with your visualization of the spine becoming photonic liquid light. Crystalline photonic liquid light. And you're retrieving, retracting, coming back into the heart space. The heart space is that unique locality that connects the two planes, the lower plane and the higher plane, but they're not qualitatively better or worse. They're connecting this heart space itself, is connecting the lower chakras with the higher chakras. And they all have their equal, wonderful place. And at the same time, the heart space is your access point to everything and anything at the same time in the now. It's like a quantum device. We connect to our higher self. I am present. I am one with my I am present. And I am one with humanity's collective I am present. And we connect to Mother, Father, God, which is your supreme being. And I ask Mother, Father, God to oversee and overlight this meditation co-creation. I ask for the healing, transgression of any and all limitations. You can offer up any and all limitations that you feel that are standing in the way of your current experience. I offer up my neediness. I offer up my codependence, my fear, the feeling of I need to prove my worth. And most of the time, the reflections are negative because of the adamant gesture of wanting to prove so badly our worth. I hear the voice. The transgression is already here. And I'd like to point out something pertinent around the mechanics of transgression. With your magnificent presence and our connection through the heart space, we are creating this adherence to our home frequency. So we call in our adherence, being one with our home frequency, which is the frequency of your soul. And the soul spark is just one with the supreme reality. And as we do create this space, we can bring up any and all issues with density, interference, misconception, pain, fear, anything that occurs in our human experience. And because there is this field, a co-joined field of love and truth and wisdom, it is seen, experienced, and then it's transmuted because it can then be returned to the truth. And this is how it functions. This is the fastest, the most truest way to transcend any and all limitation. You can do that in your own meditation, and when we co-join, it's even a stronger field. Allow yourself to visualize a torus field. The torus field is always present. This is how mechanically the quantum field of your heart is functioning. So you drop all your attention and focus into the heart space at the back side of your body. Draw all of it in, all of it. You're retrieving all of your energy, consciousness, all of this into this 0 point. Supreme source, consciousness. You can imagine it as the lightless light, a field that encompasses the entire multiverse. Get in touch with it. What are its characteristics? And this field is then connecting everything, your seeming fractal nature, which is unique, emanates out into source, from the heart into all that is. Then it's brought back again into your singularity. It's a pulsation from the heart space. You emanate into all that is, and then all that is emanates back into the heart. And imagine this pulsation as this donut shaped pulsation of frequencies. Know that your heart is that space of pure potentiality, and it exists in the pure potentiality of the wave. And through your miraculous mechanism of the body, which is also just a vibrational field, you have this magical ability to collapse the wave into a particle. And that's what you call your reality. And now, in this intentional field of pure love, I intend to deconstruct, move it back into the light. This deep pain that we carry in our hearts. Feel it. It's almost like a backdrop. It's always somehow there. It's like this very deep pain. Sometimes it masquerades as fatigue, sluggishness, pain, lack of vibrancy, lack of inspiration. But it's age old. pain of the masculine and the pain of the feminine. And this vibratory field that we have created together as humanity. Just feel into it. There's no need to come up with stories of how and when and what is the pain from. All we need to see is that it parades there in the background. It's so painful. But still, words come up like betrayal, mistrust, expecting the worst, inability to open up. Damnation, even. And know that this eternal pain has a role. Just feel it. The heaviness sometimes, even if you don't feel anything, sometimes you feel heaviness. And the role of this deep pain that humanity is carrying. The suffering that we've endured throughout the generations. The male lineage, the female lineage. Call them all in. Those who have passed already. Call them all in, they can all help. We can help them. This is very, very unique at this time. At the precipice of awakening. There's one thing we are only awakening to, that we were never separate. And this pain is hidden in the crevices of our hearts, because it guides us back to our wholeness. This game of chasers and runners, warmongers, the war inside us and outside us. all a misunderstanding of relationality. I offer up this love to transmute the game of chasers and runners. Thank you, beloveds, for the inspiration. Because both chasers and runners are just running from their love. Inherent love. I offer up this love to transmute this misunderstanding. Call it all back into the heart space so that we can transmute it. Chasing and running. Sometimes you're the chaser, sometimes you're the runner. It's very strong in the collective, fueled by the misunderstanding of what's true relationality. Offer it up. And what lies at the root of all of this misunderstanding? The sin that we commit against ourselves. Our initial experience of separation lies at the root of it all. So let's go back there. There's this eternal pain in the heart. And even more deeper, what is at the root is that separation. And if you see it clearly, that every experience in your life if it is an experience of struggle, suffering, pain, is just a barometer of your misunderstanding. I ask to open up this bottled up pain. Release it. Release it. Release it into the light. removing the veil of forgetfulness. And even if you can just cognize of these words on a level of your cognitive capacities, your soul resonates already. The soul identifies already. And it is connecting to that intelligence that is powerfully transmuting this age old misunderstanding of separation. The root of all pain. And the root of all separation is also your misunderstanding that you think of yourself as a body. You think of yourself as a character in a world. And don't fall into the trap of bypassing. It's not about negating the body, or negating the story, or negating anything. It is the alchemical merging with the self, with the love that you are, that releases you, releases the identification. And everything becomes simplified. And just feel Krishna's eternal song, or call it whatever you like, the harmonious effulgence of life as Mother, Father, God, pouring through your heart on the right, which is much more than any energy, any vibration, wave or particle, the supreme reality is so much more direct. Leave your shackles behind. Love them back into wholeness. As we are now reprogramming the hologram, the torus field. Do you see how this is happening? This field is returning us to the knowing of our oneness with the Supreme Self, Supreme Reality. I call to transmute this age-old feeling of lack, this feeling of lack, not whole. Opening these crevices of your heart and transmuting them. The experiencing of lack, the longing, essentially all longing. It's the longing to merge with your Supreme Self. And sometimes the love that sparks between two people reminds us of that love, that yearning, that knowing of the supreme love. That is the whole purpose. Heal those places in your heart that still believe in lack, still think that you still need to improve, you still need to find to be whole. I ask to transmute this misconception for humanity. When you look into the eyes of another, have the ability to share the flame of the Supreme Self that appeases all longing. Feel right now that flame oozing out of your eyes, appeasing all longing. All distance is collapse. Know that you are the supreme reality. And all of life is functioning through you to remind you of who you truly are. And I pray that we all have the wisdom to see, to learn, to know. Another aspect that is coming up right now in the collective. It's mainly the woundedness of the feminine, the deep woundedness, the struggle, the suffering of the feminine, the helplessness, the self denial, the servitude. That pain is being released, the victimhood released. Whether you're a masculine or a feminine, doesn't matter. We're releasing these interference patterns in our blueprint, collapsing them back into the 0 point of pure love. It serves its purpose. As a vehicle of awakening. We let it go. And just look closely. Where are those places in your heart that are still clinging to suffering? And I also pray that all these places that are still conditioned to revert us back to believing in lack, in pain, in suffering, to be offered up into the love of the self. So it is. I ask Mother, Father, God to seal this transmission in all the directions, all the spaces, timelines. And I ask for the integration to be smooth, loving, healing. thank the presence of our guides, higher selves. I thank the teaching. This is called embodied teaching. For the highest good of all. So it is. May we all emanate this love, wisdom, and the will of one. Through our words, actions, thought, moment to moment. So it is.